At the end of the day, we all want to achieve our goals, but we often get stuck at the doing part. Like if I could only get myself to write that blog post or complete that workout or meal prep that meal, maybe then I would feel organized. Maybe then I would feel good. Well, this video is not me forcing you to do anything, but it is showing you how I've cultivated habits so that it's so easy for me to get the things that I need done so that I can become the person that I'm striving to be. Mom of three. I am a coach and a YouTuber, and I run a small business, which means I don't have a lot of time on my hands. So I'm going to share with you the method that has really been working for me to help me stay organized, make sure that I'm getting to everything that I need done so that you can too. I made a video similar to this one about how you can be the most productive when you have little kids at home, so make sure to check that out. But in this video, I'm going to go into a lot more detail as to my actual to-do list scheduling method. And straight off the bat, I have to give all the credit to Kallie brand support from But First Coffee. She made a short about her productivity to-do list planner method, and I studied it. Kind of creepy how much I studied it, but it really helps, and it's really simple, and I want to show you my take on her method. So let's jump in. Sometimes I struggle online to find people that are in similar life stages as me, that have similar challenges to me. Kallie and I both have young kids. I really relate to her lifestyle. She's also a full-time YouTuber and blogger, and this means she works for herself, she works from home, and she needs to manage her own time. And this was something that I really needed to do as someone who works from home and has small kids to manage. As she says in her video, and I will link it down below, she has tried many different productivity tools and methods to help her stay organized. And I was curious because I have also tried many, and I'm always looking for better, more efficient ways to help me manage my time. Especially as someone who has to self-manage my time, I need to make sure that I'm holding myself accountable. So on a high level, I'm just using a super basic couple of dollar notebook. I like to use that big A4 page or full notebook page because then it gives me a lot of space to write things down. And this particular notebook has pages that you can tear out, so if that's what you want to do, great. But the point being, it's very inexpensive. You don't need anything fancy, so you can't use money as an excuse to not get started and get organized. I use a double page at the start of every month, and in it I put buckets or categories that apply to me. These will be different for you depending on what type of work you do, what type of life you have. But for me, I need a page where I can keep myself accountable for all of the YouTube videos that I plan to produce that month. Personal section, because obviously life is not just about working. Administration, book a dentist appointment for a child. Personal is things that I personally want to get done. So maybe that's read a particular book or take a particular course, learn something new. So I like to have these things kind of separated, and then you can just check them off as you go along. And that checking off point is so motivating. I also created a category for me which is like upcoming, almost like a snapshot of the month to come, and in there I'll put things like travel or trips we might be going on, trips that my husband might have to do for work that I need to be aware of, guests that may be coming to stay with us that I might need to prepare for, events that I might be going to, just so that I kind of know and have a sort of future view of what is to come. Then, like in Kallie's video, told you I studied it. I know it's creepy, but really I'm just fangirling over here. I do a weekly spread. So I'll put everything that I want to achieve in the week on the left side of the page, and then the days of the week, Monday through Sunday, on to the right. And that almost acts as like a calendar as well as a to-do list. Whatever I plan to achieve that week, I allocate it to Monday to Sunday. And then this way I can kind of break it down, and it's a lot less overwhelming. Because when we're starting to implement new habits and get into the groove of things, it's much better when it's in small bite-sized pieces. Like getting fit is not a specific enough goal, right? But going for a walk every day or lifting weights every other day and putting that on your calendar is going to make things a lot easier for you to achieve that ultimate goal of getting fit. Anything that I don't get done, I move to the next week or I move to a different day. And if it's a real disaster, I can rip out the page and start again. Although I haven't really had to do that, I just move things around. And it keeps a really nice physical record of what I try to achieve. So if I plan to take a course, for example, this one week, but I don't get to it, I can always just bump it over to the next week and it's no big deal. I also have a no pressure approach, everything that I get done, I feel like I've achieved something, and this is important for me because if I start to shame myself for not being productive enough, I'm likely not going to do anything. I have found by having these tasks all divided up and not overloading my schedule that I'm actually very motivated to check them off. So no, I don't always feel like I want to do whatever is on my list, but once I do, it's so rewarding. I'm sure it gives me like a kick of dopamine to have it done and check it off the list. So I found that it's kept me a lot more accountable than if I didn't have a running list of things to do. My brain would be scrambled eggs. I have found that I need to be really specific about what I plan to create or do. So I create content, which means that I can't just write create a reel or create a story or something. I need to be really specific about it so that when it comes to Wednesday and it says create a YouTube short or create a reel, I know exactly which reel to create. I don't have to make the decision as to which one I want to create. The fewer barriers to entry that you have, the more likely you are to carry out the task that you've set for yourself. Another thing that I do is batch like tasks together, group things that are all related together. So perhaps one day I will film a bunch of videos because I'm ready to go, my setup is all there, and it's just much easier for me to get in the flow and get it all done. A thing where your mind is trained and primed to do one type of thing, that means you're much more likely to actually get it done, and it's really helpful, I find, as a busy mom to batch content and to batch things that are difficult to do when my kids are around, like filming a video. I try to front load my week. So when I come out of a weekend, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are my heavier work days because I find I have the most energy. By Thursday, I'm starting to get a little bit wilted and I'm much less likely to want to do the heavy lifting. And with kids, you just never know. You want to have a day where it's a bonus if you get extra work done or extra things off your to-do list done, but if you don't, it's not the end of the world because a child can get sick, they might not have school, something's come up in your personal life that impacts your work or what you had planned for that day. So I like to do heavy on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then lighter Thursday, Friday, and not really have too much booked. And then whatever I don't get done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I can overload onto Thursday, Friday. I also think we should have 4-day weeks, but... And then planning ahead, I think, makes a massive difference. I want to give you a really tangible example of this. A lot of the times we set goals for ourselves at the beginning of the year, right? Classic New Year's resolutions. For me this year, I wanted to get as fit as possible, right? Which is kind of a lofty, non-specific goal, and here I am telling you to be specific. But that was kind of my general gist. I wanted to be fitter and healthier than I have been in a long time. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, I now schedule workouts, walks with a friend, tennis, weightlifting, that kind of stuff throughout my week, and that is now contributing to being the fittest version of myself. But I'm not always having, I want to be the fittest version of myself at the top of my mind all the time. I just know loosely that that is a dream of mine. I want to feel good and have lots of energy and feel fit. It's important to set these big lofty dreams because I think that your subconscious kind of internalizes that, for lack of a better word, and starts to help you work towards it. So you almost start to seek out opportunities where you can work out, or maybe you subconsciously end up making friends with somebody who's really into fitness, using fitness as an example. So I think it is important to set those big goals, plan ahead, like what would you like for the future, and then subconsciously your actions kind of take care of the rest. Let me know if you think of what you think about that, if that's too woo-woo for you, but I promise you, visualizing, it works. And if you'd like me to do a video on that, then let me know. As always, thank you so much for being here. If you would be so kind as to hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell, give this video a big like if you enjoyed it, share it with a mom or dad who might benefit from it. Or you don't need to have kids, share it with whomever, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye.